This is a quick walkthrough tutorial of the Get Up according to StrongFirst standards. I took some chalk from my son to make some diagrams here. That's going to be placement for my hands and my feet. Keep me in line. I also use some painter's tape. Any sort of setup like this is great for marking your feet, hand positions when you first start out, just to make sure that you're consistent until you get the feel for it. Our first position is in supine. I roll to my side. I'm in the fetal position. Right hand will be my working hand, left hand goes on top. I use my entire body to roll the bell over my trunk, and press it up with both hands. Now this second position that we come into, best to think of it as a snow angel. My arms are running pretty much parallel to my legs. I'm spread out. What my end of my first position is going to look like, or my second, sorry, assume that this is the working hand. The same leg is going to plant close to my glute. The optimal distance is going to really allow me to drive with this leg to roll the hips as I start my movement. So I'm finding that position, I marked it. As I'm driving with this heel, my down heel is extending out, so I have drive, extend. Finally, the down arm that doesn't have the weight in hand, I'm thinking about taking my forearm and my elbow and I'm pulling into the ground. Master SFG, Zara Horton has a good drill where you grab something like a kettlebell, something heavy or a pull, and that helps you really start to root that down arm into the ground. So that's the 3 action there. Also, my working arm is going to be locked the entire time, so I'm thinking about keeping my elbows straight. There's a yoga cue that sends energy up, energy down the arm that really locks that arm in position. Both of my shoulders are going to be packed, and that's for another tutorial, but for now we're just focusing on the shoulder pack. So I roll into my starting position, slide the heel up towards my glute, down arms in place, locked, drive heel, extend heel, pull with the arm, come up into my third position. From here, I'm taking my downward hand, and I'm not just extending up. At the same time, I'm grabbing the ground with my fingers and actively rotating. That's going to pack the shoulder fully. So what it looks like is I have my circle set up for about where my hand's going to land. Up, drive. Now, in order to come to my next step, my hand just has to move just a little bit, just for my length of my limbs. From here, if you're working on the movement, or if you want to practice your high hip bridge for extension, you can go into the high hip bridge. For our standard practice though, we're just going to do the low leg sweep. I'm driving with my planted heel, grabbing the ground with my hand and pushing, arms extended locked the whole time, and sweeping that leg through. And as you can see, when I land, my hand, my knee, and my downward toe all look like they're on a balance beam or a train track or 2x4, however you want to think about it. They're all lined up. The position, the distance of my hand to my knee is such that it allows me in this position to keep the weight over my hips, not in this dead space between my hand and my knee. If I'm out here and I go to come up, I'm going to lose my balance and start going backwards, or I'm just going to have to shift in here anyway, so I might as well just get in that position. This leg's a little overextended, it's about 120 degrees, so I just slide it back. For my markings, my toe goes right over my mark where my heel used to be. Now that front leg's at 90 degrees. This is another angle. As you can see, my hips are loaded, they're hinged, they're pulled back. Again, I'm not out here, the weight's not above the space between my hand and my knee. It's loaded into my hips. As the bell gets heavier, this allows you to move more. From here, I'm going to pull, continue to pull, slide the hand up. Back leg's going to rotate so that I look like I'm on train tracks. Now, again, because of my leg length, I have to now just alter the front leg position again. So I'm right in here. I'm now at 90 degrees. Forgot to mark this spot, but I can do a quick mark. Now when I come back down, I can make sure I'm in the same spot. My elbow's locked, my biceps by the ear. There's a slight grunt to make sure that my core fully engages as I come up. So, up, in position. Now as I reverse it, I have all my markings to follow and go back into. So I can lunge back, adjust as needed. I wiper the back leg, wipe through here. I take my hand, slide it off my hip, and as I slide down, my eyes rotate back onto my bell. Hand plants. Now I know I have to extend this leg a little bit to make sure that my position's the same going back down. Sweep the leg through. Again, I'm torquing this down shoulder. Land. Down to the elbow. And I'm back down to my starting. Okay, a fine point in this position is as I come down, you see a lot of people collapse and lose this shoulder and then roll down. What I want to do instead is just as when I come up, I'm thinking about driving, I can think about the exact opposite. I come down. I can take this arm and I can actively push out to maintain that shoulder pack. So I'm here, big chest. I'm going to drive that elbow, keep that shoulder packed, and return to the ground. From here, bring the hand up to meet it, roll it back, and then roll it off to the side. All right, we're going to run through it with weight. I have a medium or slight bell here so that I can just talk through the points. But I still have to focus. So I got my 24 here. Again, start, fetal position, roll up to supine. My right heel is planted. My left leg's extended. Drive my right heel, extend my left heel, pull with my left elbow. Up into my second position, or my third position actually, if you count the beginning in the fetal position. My elbow, my working arm is locked the whole time. My knuckles are up. You can wiggle the fingers at each step. The hand can be open. That's the position the bell is in. From here, grab the ground with my left hand, torque and rotate. Chest is pushed out the whole time. My head can rotate, looking at the downward arm. Up to the weight. Drive my right heel, balance, and grab the ground with my left hand. Swing that leg through. Or in line with my hand. Again, it's like I'm on a balance beam. Eyes are on the bell the whole time. As I come up into my half kneeling position, my eyes are going to drop and find the horizon. If I keep my eyes up, it's going to make me want to go backwards. So I find the horizon, wiper the back leg, adjust the front leg as needed so that's at 90 degrees. Elbows locked, bicep is right by the ear, not attached to it, but just in line with it. At appropriate distance to have your shoulder pack. Drive, come on up. Lock it out. Reverse the movement. Come back down. Plant the knee. I'm going to open up just a little because I know I need that space. You can keep this here if the spacing's right for you. I wiper the back leg. Come off my thigh with my hand. Find the ground. As I come here, my eyes transition on back on the bell. Locked out. Sweep the leg through. Adjust as needed. Come down to the elbow. And drive that bottom forearm and return slowly and safely to the ground. Grab the weight with both hands. Bring it down over the navel. Roll it off to the side. That's more or less all the necessary steps. There's a little more intricacies that you can pick up. Great product if you want to get a little deeper into it is Kettlebells from the Ground Up by Gray Cook and Brett Jones. But just reference that. Use your markings if you can. And after, 50 reps or so, with starting with that shoe variation or even just body weight, working up to a really light dumbbell or kettlebell, after a couple dozen to 50 reps, maybe even 100, you start to get a lot smoother and you won't necessarily need your markings for orientation. Good luck with that.